Hey, okay, Be Healthy Pals, Jacqueline here. Welcome to a Wednesday Q&A right away. And it's Wednesday, and so that means you can ask me your health questions right away, and I'll answer them lickety split, or as quick as I can. So as you're logging in, let me know where you're watching from. I'm waiting for my computer to kind of warm up too. It's a very chilly day here in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And it's very windy and it's very cold. And so I pulled out my cashmere mittens and my woolly jumper because it's very, very cold out. So I want it to be nice and warm and toasty. So how about you guys? Is it cold where you are? It's definitely feeling like a fall kind of day. So how this works is you just ask me a health question if you have one. Maybe you're looking for some natural remedies, or maybe you have some kind of question about anything health related, and you can just ask me. We got Cindy from Choctaw. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Donna. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Gwendolyn. Welcome and good morning. So yes, Choctaw, you know it's chilly. I don't know if it's windy where you are. It is cold here. Victoria is from Missouri. Good morning. I do love this kind of weather. I mean, I am a beach kind of girl. I love the beach, but you know, I'll take the cold too. I like a little bit of everything. So I think God is good. He gives us a little bit of everything. And just about the time we get sick of it, He gives us another season. If not, you can just go to the beach, right? We have Kathy from Missouri. Essie's here. Amy's here. While we're waiting on some more people and some more questions, we have Christina from Arkansas. Did I say that right? Arkansas? Is that where you're from? Northwest Arkansas? Yeah? Okay. We have a fire burning. Oh, that sounds so nice. Victoria has a fire burning. I want one. I want a fire. Amy's in Tulsa, so you know it is chilly. Good morning from Ontario, Canada. I guess I can't complain. Canada's probably far more cold than we are. But good morning, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering a few questions some folks asked last night as we're waiting for new questions to be asked right now. One of them is from Jamie Lynn, and she said, do you have any recommendations for supplements or vitamins for anxiety and big behaviors in kids, probably bad behaviors in kids? One of my favorites is rhodiola rosea, which we actually just made a tincture. Jonas just finished it yesterday, so I need to post that for you guys. But rhodiola rosea is one of my favorites. It's good for anxiety. It's good for also depression. It's just a great mood boosting herb, and I love it. Anyone who is contemplating going on antidepressants or anything like that, I would rather suggest you try herbs first, like rhodiola rosea or ashwagandha. These are really good for boosting your mood. Ashwagandha is good for helping you adapt to stress. And not that it takes it away, but it definitely helps you adapt to it. And then Mary Ruth has a kids blend called Focus for kids. And I believe there's like ginkgo biloba, probably some bacopa in there, maybe some ginseng. We also make a mindful tincture, which has those same herbs in it. So if you want to find that at OK Be Healthy, you can find a mindful tincture. And make sure your kiddos aren't getting refined sugar. I know it's very difficult, especially this time of year. It's actually not difficult. I just, said no to my kids when they're little. You're not having that. And they're totally cool with it. And we just went with other natural things, that more natural sweeteners. We would make our own muffins and our own cookies. But I understand some of your kids go to school. And so just try to have conversations with your kids to make good choices, not eat too much refined sugar, make them their own little muffins or cupcakes, when you can, in replace of all the birthday cupcakes and things. Because, with that, you have food dye, you have refined sugar, and food dyes cause all kinds of, attention issues, where they are just not paying attention. And even boys, they're already rowdy enough, which is great. And you don't want to actually add, unnecessary rowdiness, that's unnatural when you add, the food dyes and things like that. So just watch the sugars, the food dyes. Hybridized wheat can also cause some issues. And those are some things you can look into. Okay, so let's start asking. I see some questions coming in, I believe. So we're going to start with the first one. This is from Joyce. My son has a hard time staying asleep. He only gets about 4 hours a night. Any recommendations? How old is your son, Joyce? If you could tell us how old he is, that would be helpful. Also what, the biggest thing is number one is he, going to bed on time? I know it's hard to fall asleep, but what time is he getting up in the morning? So it's a matter of changing habits, making sure, and it really depends on how old he is too. We can talk about that in a minute. Typically, going to bed early before 9 is ideal, and then getting up, at least, I love to go for about 8 hours of sleep. That's ideal for me. But you want more than 6 hours of sleep every night. Less than 6 is not good for your brain. It sets up Alzheimer's and dementia, sets you up for that. It causes little plaques to develop on the front part of your lobe. So your frontal lobe. So you want to be careful. The brain can't clean and heal. We're starting a book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker in our book club in the subscriber page this month. And that's the book we're going to be reading about. We're going to be reading about why we sleep and learning more about the importance of sleeping. So he's 21 years old. So a few things I would ask is, what is his diet like? What is does he play a lot of video games? What is his habits like? It's important if, I don't know if he's a gamer, but I know a lot of 21-year-olds that are gamers, and they stay up too late playing games, or stay up too late on social media, or stay up too late just on their phones. So it's important to, when the sun goes down, that you get in the habit of turning off all smartphones, all things that you do not need to be looking at, and read a book. Read a book is much better for your eyes to be reading books rather than looking at the blue light. I know it gets difficult because, sometimes you just have the habit of looking at your phone before bed, making sure everybody's okay, make sure the family's okay, no one's called, to tell you anything, out of the norm. But, so once you kind of straighten out the habit and encourage him to be going to bed earlier and up earlier, exercise. Exercise is so important for sleeping. Make sure you exercise. Now, my boys, my teenagers especially, are very strict, especially Jonas. He's my almost 18-year-old, so he's 17, but he is in bed by 8 or 8:30 every night, so he is up by 4 in the morning every morning so he can get to the gym. We leave the house around 4:30 a.m. and he's at the gym at 5. Why? Because he knows he thrives so well when he gets that really great, solid sleep from about, he's for sure asleep by 9 o'clock every night, sometimes by 8:30, and he's up at 4 a.m. So he's ready to go for the day. He feels great. He has energy. So getting sleep, but also exercise is important to helping with sleep. It's a great system as you get going. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Make sure you're eating well. Watch out for foods that cause you to be sleepy, or alert, more active. There are some great herbs for sleep. We make a tincture called Peaceful Sleep, and that one has a lot of wonderful herbs in it. There's also herbs like valerian root, St. John's wort. These are calming herbs. St. John's wort soothes the nerves. Valerian helps sleep. There's passion flower, which also relaxes. Chamomile. Those are some wonderful herbs that you can consider doing for some helpful sleep remedies. And, it takes some time to recorrect your sleeping pattern if you're used to a certain way. Maybe someone's working a night shift and then they got put back on day shift, and it's going to take some adjustment. So just shoot for going to bed a little bit earlier every night. So maybe you're going to bed at like 2 a.m. I heard the worst advice ever. This young kid came in and he said, I'm losing weight, and I just read that if you stay up as long as you can, you'll lose weight. And I thought, who did you hear that from? Because that is actually not true. So if you are going to bed really late and you want to get yourself going to bed earlier, then just aim for 30 minutes earlier every night until slowly you get to where you want to be. Okay. Lydia says, any recommendations for cramps and spasms in feet and toes? Might be just electrolytes, but under a lot of stress. Yes, that's the importance. Like, stress is not something you want to hold on to and harbor onto. So try to get rid of some of that stress. Help say no to things. Don't let your mouth overburden your back. Help ask for help. Delegate. And then there's some stress we just can't give away. But we can give it to God. So definitely give it to God. Give all your burdens, cast all your care to Him because He cares for you, and give it to Him and trust Him to take care of it. But the first thing I'd ask is, Lydia, if you're drinking water, it's important that you're drinking your water every day. Everyone drinking your water. 6 ounces of water every day. Here's my water right here. Make sure you're drinking water every day. 4 ounces is a great goal. If you're not used to even drinking 4 ounces, then just start with 4. That's a great way to start the day, drinking your 4 ounces of water. And then the next day, aim for 8 ounces. And the next day, aim for 12, and so on and so forth. And keep drinking until you get to 64 ounces of water a day. Okay? Make sure you eat a little pinch of salt before every glass of water. Not table salt, but your mineral salt. So your Celtic salt or your Baja Gold salt or any kind of natural salt that has lots of minerals in it, that's the salt you want to be eating. And also the Celtic salt has 3 magnesiums in it, which help you to absorb water into the cell. So it's important that you are getting plenty of magnesium. You can try magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate and magnesium citrate are the most bioavailable. So those are the ones you want to stick with when it comes to the muscles for something that works quick. You can use a magnesium oil rub too, and you could just spray the feet. Since they're happening in your feet and your toes, you could spray the feet. If the feeling of it bothers you, just spray. And then wipe it off in about 30 seconds. Use a nice warm cloth and just wipe it off. You can also add Epsom salts to your bathtub. Have a nice warm cozy bath. It sounds so nice on a day like today because it's so cold outside and chilly. I wish I was by a fire like some of you are. But that is another thing you can do is sit in an Epsom salt bath and soak, or even just soak your feet to help get that in there. But water is important. Magnesium is important. Exercise is important. Make sure you're exercising. If you can't do too much, rebound. If you can't jump too high, just do a health bounce, which is very simple. It's just like this. Your feet don't even lift the trampoline. It's a very small bounce motion. And even while we're all sitting here, if you're sitting, you can do calf raises. Everyone do some calf raises. You see how you feel the blood already kind of starting to flow. That's helpful. Do you have any numbing in your feet, Lydia? But those are some things I would start trying to help you with cramping in the feet and also the spasms happening. You can massage in St. John's wort for the nerves. You can also take cayenne pepper to help the blood flow. So those are some things you could try. Is it hard to understand me? Is it my microphone? Is that better? Let's try up higher. Hold on. Let me try somewhere higher. Is that better? Give me some hearts if you guys like that better. I don't know if my mic is even working. Let's see. Maybe my mic's not working. It looks like it's working. Let's see. Anybody? Can anyone confirm that you can hear me better now? Maybe my mic doesn't want to work today. Let's take the mic off. Yeah? We can hear or no? Yes or no? Well, don't give me thumbs downs, but if it's good and we got some hearts, we'll try this again. Somebody's saying, yes, no. Okay, better. Okay, we'll try a little bit longer. But if I see one more comment that says terrible, we're cutting this mic. This mic is out of here. Okay. So back to the questions. Let me squeeze up here where I last stopped. Okay. Can cholesterol be linked with premenopause? If so, what can I take? My primary does not understand why it went too high when I watch what I eat. This is from Imelda Martinez. Well, you need cholesterol to make sex hormones. And if your sex hormones aren't working right, it's usually hormonal imbalance, or also a statin drug. And I think I'm just going to take this off, guys. So hopefully you can still hear me when I take this off. Hold on. Okay. Can everyone hear? I think we can hear here. Let's see. So you always, much better. It's working. Okay. Sounds good. We're just going to do that. Okay. So the biggest thing is one is how high is your cholesterol? It seems like the numbers keep going lower and lower what's acceptable. You guys, I met a man, his cholesterol was 119 and they told him it was too high. He came in stiff as a board. He could not move because guess what statins do? They cause muscle wasting. And so he came in, he could not move his neck. He could not move his shoulders. He was in so much pain. And I said, you must stop. This is what's happening. This is not okay. Obviously, I can't tell him to stop. He has to stop on his own, but that is not okay for you to be that much in pain. And a cholesterol level of 119, is this person, are they trying to kill you? So that's what he had thought. He had already actually taken, went off his medication, and he came to talk to me. But you want cholesterol, guys. Cholesterol is actually a good thing. Cholesterol is not a bad thing. Cholesterol makes our sex hormones. Cholesterol helps us think and function. Our brain needs cholesterol. There's cholesterol underneath our skin that helps convert the sunshine into sex hormones, into vitamin D. But these are things that we want. We definitely want cholesterol for. Even breast milk is about 50% saturated fat in the very beginning for that little newborn baby, because our brains need it. Cow's milk, full of fat for that baby brain of that cow. So we definitely need it. And the numbers are just getting lower and lower and lower of what's acceptable or what's considered high cholesterol. So personally, I don't recommend statin drugs. There's so many books that talk about cholesterol. There's The Great Cholesterol Con by Dr. Malcolm Kendrick, I met him in Scotland, a really nice guy, really sarcastic, really funny in his presentations. I really enjoyed him a lot. And he has a couple books. He has the Clot That Thickens now, and he has the one I just mentioned, cholesterol, The Great Cholesterol Con. And there's also another book called Lipitor Thief of Memory. And that was good. That's really good. It was written by Dr. Graveline, and he was an astronaut and a internal medicine physician. But he was put on statin drugs, and he was losing his mind. Anyways, he started discovering and researching and talking to other people, come to find out that there's something called transglobal amnesia. See, I'm already forgetting the word, but I'm not on statins, sorry. But this was like a long-term effect of being on these statins for so long. It's a slow process where I was taking a break. So do I think there could be a link? Sure. Yeah. I would definitely look into balancing your hormones. You want to definitely balance your hormones with wild yam cream. You can apply wild yam cream twice a day, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. The 1 week off is during your period. If you don't have a period, you still take a week off. Men don't take a week off at all. They just apply twice a day, with no break. Okay. So that should help a little bit. And I just wanted to see if I could refine your question. The whole microphone thing kind of threw me off here. So yeah, I would definitely get on the wild yam cream to help you balance your hormones. See if that also helps you balance your cholesterol, and also like how high is too high? What are they saying is too high? But definitely watch what you're eating. And the things you need to watch what you're eating are not the good fats, guys. It's the refined sugar. It's the hybridized wheat. It's all the refined carbohydrate. It's the chemicals in the food. It's in the food dyes in the food. These are the things we really need to be watching. The oxidative stress that's happening. Some good things you can take to help your blood and to help that strengthening is selenium. Selenium is great for recycling your antioxidants. Make sure you're getting lots of green leafy vegetables, fruits that are wonderful for you. If you're diabetic, watch the high glycemic fruit, of course. But those are some things you can look into, okay? Selenium, garlic, ginger, eating your Celtic salt, hawthorn berries, good for the heart, cayenne pepper, it's good for the blood. So those are some things you can look at, and just stopping the culprits, stopping the things that are harming the blood. I want to do your parasite cleanse. Please give step-by-step instructions. Thank you. This is from Norma. Yeah. So I grew up doing parasite cleanses since I was little. I remember my mom just lining us up, and she'd all just like little birds. She'd drop us these little tinctures in our mouth, and it tasted terrible. It was so bad. It tasted like alcohol and these horrible bitter herbs. But I just remember it was good for me, so I did it. As I got older, I decided I wanted to make a parasite cleanse that didn't taste so bad. And I think it was the alcohol that really bothered me when I was a kid. So now we just use vegetable glycerin. And in our parasite cleanse, it's, black walnut, whole. There's the clove, there's, wormwood, and there's oregano. We just recently added oregano. So those are some of the herbs you can find in our parasite cleanse. And it's also just made with filtered water and vegetable glycerin, organic. So all organic and natural ingredients. The herbs are non-irradiated, and they're organic and natural.
very clean herbs we use. So what you'll do is you'll take a full dropper. I typically take my binder first. So you take a binder and then an hour later you take your parasite cleanse. You can do this twice a day. You can go a whole month if you want to. I prefer going a whole month because this gives opportunity for the adults, the eggs, the larvae, the cysts, all those things to die, because they have different lifespans. Some, obviously the eggs aren't hatched and the adults are alive. Adults may take longer to die, all these kinds of things. And so I like to just do it for a solid month to kind of keep it in my system and knock out anything that might be holding on. So I do it for a month. You don't have to do it for a month. You could do it for 2 weeks on, and see how you feel. You could do it for a week. Some people do it 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off for a month, and see how you feel. Some people have reactions. It's not as common, as people just doing really well with it, but there's some people who do get rashes and they do experience the die-off, or they see maybe some swelling in the joints, or maybe some achiness in the neck, or maybe some diarrhea, maybe some bloating. It depends. Like, each person's so individual. It really just depends on the body. But usually it's pretty simple to get through. Some people lose a lot of weight doing it. And they're like, I didn't know this would help me lose weight. But those are some things, we could talk about signs of parasites in a minute, but getting back to how to take it. So you do a binder an hour before, and then you do your parasite tincture next. And you do that. I do it every day, twice a day, for a month, and then I can take a break. You can do it every day if you want to. Like, I'm in the country. We have animals, we have chickens, we have dogs. We're always around animals. We have cats in the house. My son is always doing the kitty litter box. So I have him doing it every day. A binder, an hour later, the parasite cleanse twice a day. And keeps him healthy. There's a time we stopped doing it, and I was noticing he just was having a lot of abdominal pain. He was having abdominal cramping. He had black under eye circles. And I just thought, I think we need to do a parasite cleanse. It's been a while, and I know you're doing the kitty boxes a lot. So he did one, and sure enough, threadworms. He had a few threadworms that we saw. Now, most parasites you won't even see because they're so microscopic. So you may see parasites and you may not. Parasites can come out all kinds of places. So just be mindful and aware of that. But most aren't seen. Some are. And it's pretty easy to follow. It doesn't taste terrible. So that's kind of a little bit about the parasite cleanse. And what we do. A binder is something that will bind to the parasites. Have something called biofilm, where they just hang out with toxicity, literally like toxins in the bloodstream or toxins in the body, free radicals in the body. It kind of reminds me of, Charlie Brown and Pigpen, and he has that blanket, but that film is always around him in the cartoon. It's like this filth. That kind of reminds me of like a parasite. It's like, it's just, you have the person, you have the blanket, you have all this filth. And so what does is the charcoal will help bind all that. The binder that we use is charcoal, psyllium husk, and slippery elm. And I like to put those three together because the slippery elm will help you coat, soothe, and heal, protect the gut lining. So if you have any kind of gut issues there, it will help heal the gut. Also keep you regular, or it will, kind of balance your stool. So if it's too runny, it will harden them. If they're too hard, they'll soften them. And so that's why I like to add slippery elm with our binder. And then also psyllium husk to keep you regular, because it's so important when you do a parasite cleanse that you are regular, that you're going to the bathroom. If you're not, I suggest using colon tea. I suggest you doing an enema every day, but something to make sure your colon is releasing all the filth that's inside. So that's a little bit about the binder. You can buy a binder powder on our website. It's called the Pesky Parasite Binder. And then we just also have charcoal capsules. And if you have charcoal capsules at home, you can do that. Some people use diatomaceous earth as a binder. I'm not a fan of doing it, only because some people who have been labeled autoimmune disorders. When they use diatomaceous earth or even bentonite clay, it can be pretty harsh on the system. And so I just try to use things that I know aren't as harsh on the system, that are really easy going. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going through all the ones that say, your mic is not working. Okay, hold on, let's get through some more. Okay, so yeah, so those are some things on parasites. So you can take the parasite cleanse, you can take oregano, you can take black walnut, wormwood, clove. Those are some really great herbs for parasite, killing parasites. And remember, when you keep your body really healthy, an alkaline environment, hydrated, strong hydrochloric acid, great digestion, regular colon. When you do these things, then your body naturally knows how to kill parasites. Right? Strong hydrochloric acid, you eat something with let's say a parasite on it. It dies in your stomach, right? And it just it's getting taken out of the body. So your body, God made our body to basically be able to take care of itself when we give it the right things. But if our body, for example, has low hydrochloric acid to hardly any, when we aren't going to the bathroom, I met a man who hasn't gone to the bathroom in 2 weeks. He's like, is that normal? No, it's not normal. We need to be going to the bathroom. We need to be doing these things. So this is when we need to be concerned, like, okay, I need to get things back on track so I can function better. Okay, let's see. Where are the questions? They're coming. Okay. Hi, Jacqueline. Is there anything that can be done for calcification in your arteries? Well, if you know where the spot is, sometimes people have a pretty clear indication of where it is. You could put a castor oil compress over it or rub castor oil. The biggest thing I always do is stop the culprits, like I was talking about earlier with cholesterol. Make sure you're not eating refined sugar. Make sure you're not eating processed foods and avoiding chemicals, whether the chemicals are through the synthetic clothing we wear. Don't wear synthetic clothing, guys. Wear real clothing. You wouldn't want to wear a plastic bag. Like the last thing I was thinking about is getting up this morning and saying, which trash bag should I wear today? You don't want to wear plastic on your skin. You want to wear good, healthy, clean fibers like cotton and hemp and viscose and wool and bamboo and these are linen. I don't know about linen in the winter, but maybe more wool in the winter. But you want to be wearing healthy fabric, natural fabric on your clothes, not synthetic. Synthetic is nylon, acrylic, polyester. There's all kinds of weird names now. Have you guys seen all the weird new names for clothing? And they try to get you with, hey, we've recycled, and this is recycled water bottles. No one wants. That's not going to keep you warm, and it's also not healthy for your hormones or for your skin or for your body. Your skin is breathing. It's an organ of elimination, but it also is absorbing and breathing. So, you live in your clothes most of your time, right? You live in your clothes, 8 hours a day at least, and then you got your pajamas, or your lounge clothes. So make sure what you're wearing is healthy, because that is going to affect the blood. So garlic, ginger, we talked about this a little bit, turmeric, with curcumin and turmeric, your flaxseed oil. These are really good herbs and supplements you can take to help your blood, but it's really just stopping the culprits first. And then it can really start to help. And take cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is so important for the blood. You can take 1 to 3 capsules, 1 to 3 times a day, before a meal. If you find it makes you nauseous, if you are fine, then take it anytime. And you can take it in a powder form. So you could do 1/4 to 1 teaspoon. You can go higher to a tablespoon. That's really spicy. In about 1 to 3 ounces of water. And you just mix it up and you just take a little shot of cayenne pepper. Once again, you could do that before a meal if you feel like it's going to make you nauseous. This will help move your blood as well. Make sure you're getting oxygen, and study what the blood carries. The blood is important for carrying nutrients. The blood is carrying away waste. The blood is carrying oxygen. The blood is carrying water, and also it's composed of plasma and all kinds of other wonderful components. Red blood cells, plasma, all kinds of good things that you need, and you need to take care of it. So, okay. Christine says, can you tell me about an injection that doctors giving for cholesterol? I can't. I honestly don't spend my time learning about medications. I think it's a waste of time, honestly, because it's just a mess what they diagnose people with these days. To me, it's like, let's make a new medication and let's find an ailment we can attach it to. Oh, you sound like you could have this ailment. Let's get you on this medication. So, if you have a name, I'm happy to read into it for you or look into it for you. But, a shot is not going to, long-term address the cause of the high cholesterol. And remember, cholesterol is not a bad guy. Cholesterol is just doing the role of making sure you stay alive and you're healthy. and you don't bleed to death. Most times the cholesterol races to the arteries to plug it up, because there's maybe little pinholes in your arteries. So, cholesterol's not a bad guy. Okay, we talked about what a binder was. Lindsay says, is there a version without black walnut I would like to use for my daughter, but she's allergic to nuts? What I would say is just do one herb then. Just do oregano for a week, and then maybe do clove for a week, or just take a couple supplements and take them together. You could take oregano and clove and wormwood. You could just find those separately if you wanted to, but we don't have one without. Okay, Kathy said, my husband has some bad looking skin issues that could be the C word on his face. He has been doing a parasite clean all month. What could I put on his spots other than ivermectin? There's something called black salve. So if it's really tiny, little tiny spots, I would consider using black salve. Now, black salve is a little more aggressive and it can leave a scar because what happens is it will start to burn. You apply it one time, it'll start to burn. And then what will happen is you will, white blood cells will race to the area. And so it'll look white. People call that infected. It's actually not infected. It's white blood cells racing to the area to do its job, to do what it needs to do to help you heal. And then after that, it gets really red. It might get little white looking. And then what happens is it starts to harden. And then it turns into like a scab, and then it just falls out. And sometimes that falling out, it'll pull the C word, if it is, or if it is not. But it won't react. If it's not the C word, it won't react. So you wouldn't have to worry. If it is, then it will react, and then it'll do all those things. It'll turn into a scab and it'll just fall off. And that's when you could be left with a little concavement. So be mindful. I know someone who used it right here. She had a little spot on her upper chest, and she didn't mind because no one's going to see that area. And it did leave a little tiny scar, almost like an old chickenpox scar. And some of you may not even know what that is. If you're younger than I am, but some of you who are older than me or my age, you probably know what I'm talking about, those little chickenpox scars. It can kind of look something like that. So that's called black salve. We do have that on our website, okbehealthy.com. You can find the black salve. Elena said, Elena was asking about the binder. Yes, you can use our pesky parasite binder, the premix if you want to, and you can use 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon in grape juice. And you drink that, and then an hour later, you take your parasite cleanse, if that's something you want to do, or you just take some charcoal capsules. I think it's about 3 charcoal capsules, and then you wait an hour, and then you can take your parasite cleanse. So either way, whichever you feel like is best. But we do have that on our website under tinctures or herbs. You'll find those. Okay, this one is from Princess. I got golden seal and I have sniffed it a couple of times, which makes me almost die, but my sinuses are still congested. How often can this be done? Other ways to use golden seal other than tea? Well, you can use golden seal many ways. Golden seal is actually, it has a natural, so berberine is a natural component of golden seal, and berberine is really good for blood sugar control, blood sugar management. And so golden seal is full of berberine, which is really good for that. So you can actually just take it as a supplement if you like, to help with all kinds of sinus issues, blood sugar issues. Yes, you can mix golden seal in with cayenne pepper and a little water, and you can put that in an ulcer. Like if you have a little tiny bed sore or an ulcer, that will also help heal wounds. So that's something I know people are thinking cayenne, but it really does work. And if somebody's if it's already in pain and burning and hurting, a little cayenne's not going to make it feel any different, honestly. So yeah, you can sniff the golden seal, I think about 3 times a day. So morning, afternoon, evening. That seems to be about a good amount. You can even just put a little on your tongue if you'd rather just, it's going to do different things, but you can put a little on the tongue if you want to. Those are some ways you can use golden seal. You can use golden seal in a eye wash rinse solution. Where you make a tea with eye bright and golden seal. You can use chamomile if the eye is really pink and red and bothered to kind of calm it. You can do that too. And you just make a little tea. And then when you're done, if you have eye pressure, you can even add cayenne pepper to release the eye pressure, because it's better than a needle in the eyeball over and over and over again. No one in their right mind would put a needle in a balloon again and again and again and again. it's going to have damage and repercussions later on. It's not going to work the same. So don't put a needle in your eyeball. Instead, just put a little cayenne pepper, and put the cayenne pepper. You can put it in the tea mix. You pour hot water over it, let it sit about 15 minutes, strain it, right? Get all the cayenne pepper flakes out, all the golden seal, all the eye bright, whatever else you choose to put in there, like maybe chamomile to calm the eye. And then you just put it in a little eye wash bath and you wash the eye. So that's something you can do also with golden seal. Okay, Risa Lynn says, my mom has carpal tunnel. What can help her with her pain and numbness? So the first thing is go sit down nicely with her and say, Mom, let's talk about your diet. Let's talk about ways we can kind of change a few things, eating a better choice of that, or maybe just getting rid of it altogether. But I know sometimes people are just stuck in their ways and they're older and they like the way they do it, and that's that. So what can you do? You can wrap the wrist in castor oil. So you can use castor oil compresses over the wrist. You could put gloves on top if you wanted to. You can, if she has a lot of inflammation and pain, you can use a ginger poultice where you shred ginger and you put it in between a cloth, and you can also wrap the joints or the areas of pain in a ginger poultice. Castor oil poultice is wonderful. Comfrey salve. Comfrey salve is one of my favorites. I actually don't leave without it anymore. Anytime I'm going anywhere, I have comfrey oil or comfrey salve with me. Comfrey salve is nicknamed knit bone, so it helps lubricate and moisten and kind of encourage that area to heal, removing pain in the process of that. It's great for tendon repair. If you stub your toe or sprain your ankle or pull a muscle or throw your back out or freeze your shoulder, all those things is really good to help heal by helping to either knit bone back together or just help heal the tendon, muscle, ligaments, surrounding tissues. Synovial fluid is very important factor in our knuckles and our fingers and our bones and our joints. And so that is made primarily of water. So we must be drinking water. Ask your mom how much water she's drinking a day. Even make her a fun little chart. Hey mom, I want you to drink 8 glasses of water a day. I'm going to be checking on your chart. Whatever it is, make her something or have her be accountable to you of how much water she's drinking every day. And I'm not sure how old your mother is. But if she's older, that's a great way to help encourage them to drink their water and have their little pinch of salt before every glass of water. Encourage them to sip it, not guzzle. Remember, it's like an IV. You don't get your IV shot up your arm like a fire hose. It's a very slow drip. So make sure you're just slowly drinking your water throughout the day, and help her and remind her to drink her water. That helps with the pain. Also, wild yam cream. Wild yam cream is very good for stimulating osteoblasts and osteoclast cells, which are responsible for building bone and removing old bone. So bringing new bone and removing old bone. You know, it's a myth when they say that your bones can't be rebuilt or anew or renewed. God is so good. He's given us these bodies that are renewing themselves. And so when we give it the right ingredients, we give it the right conditions, when we do all the right things, the body starts to really respond well. And so the bones do regrow. Isn't that wonderful? And there's something called wild yam cream that can help do that. Dr. John Lee has lots of wonderful studies on his patients that were on it, and he saw, 20% progress in bone growth in some of his elderly patients in the spinal area of the bone growth. So you can watch his lectures on YouTube. You can find them. They're very good. He's passed away, but he's very funny, very sarcastic, really good doctor. He says that you know a good doctor by how many patients they don't have. Meaning, he would go like to the hospital and his nurses would discover that every day less and less patients were admitted into the hospital. And they're thinking, what are you doing? And he actually started teaching them how to heal and how to live well and eat well. And by doing that, he had less and less patients. And I thought, oh, isn't that true? The less you have to see your patients, the better, right? But he's really cool. You'll like him. Dr. John Lee, he's passed away, but he's got some really great lectures on that. But he's the one that was talking about and found the link between using wild yam cream and helping rebuild bone and joint and these kinds of things. So pretty cool stuff. when it comes to osteoporosis and stuff like that. Make sure you're eating your minerals and your vitamins and your fruits and your vegetables. Make sure, you're drinking lots of water. We talked about those things. Small exercise, walks or squats up and down off the couch, or small rebounding. You can help her. She doesn't have to jump high. She can even sit on a little trampoline and just bounce. These are things that just start to strengthen the bone. Okay, Elena said, I have a silly question. Is all slippery elm food grade? I bought a bottle of slippery elm at Whole Foods when I was shopping there last, assuming that it was okay to ingest, but still learning that not all essential oils are not equal. Perhaps there could, I'm sure there could be some slippery elms that are not digestible because they've added things into them. But if it's just slippery elm, I would assume it's fine to consume, but maybe just reach out to the company and ask. Because it could be different, I suppose, depending on what they've added to it. And it doesn't hurt to ask, but if it's just slippery elm, you'll be fine. That's my opinion. Okay. Okay. Do you take a parasite cleanse on an empty stomach? This is from Norma Wilson. You can, or you can take it with food. Either way is fine. When you're doing a parasite cleanse, you can take it on an empty stomach or with food. I haven't seen a difference. Some people find it a little nauseating. When I say some people, it's like maybe 5%. Find the herbs makes them a little nauseous, so they do better when they eat something. Okay. Christine said, what about using fulvic acid? Yeah, that's great. It's in zeolite. You can find that in zeolite. Zeolite's great for detoxing heavy metals. People use it a lot when they're detoxing from vaccine injuries and things like that. So, yep, fulvic is good. Linda says, what do you take for neuropathy in your foot? With neuropathy, you want to make sure you're doing a few things. One, if you're diabetic, you need to address that. That's one of the reasons why people start getting neuropathy in the feet. The other thing is exercising. Make sure you're getting plenty of water and taking cayenne pepper internally. We talked about how to take that a little bit ago. You can also make a cayenne pepper compress where it's just a piece of a paper towel or a cloth, and you put some olive oil on it or some castor oil. You can do little droplets of it if you want there, or you can do a little back and forth motion, but enough to cover the bottom of the foot. Let's say this is my foot, so enough to cover the foot, and then you're going to sprinkle the cayenne pepper on top. And then you put the foot right on top, and then you're going to put a piece of plastic right underneath that. And if you want to, you could use a small little bandage to bandage it on so it doesn't move, and then put a very tight sock on your foot. And then you can let that go for about 2 to 4 hours, just enough so that you start to feel it tingle. And when you start to feel it tingle, you know it's working. And I would also take a shot of cayenne pepper or take capsules of cayenne pepper when that's happening, when you're not feeling your toes. And exercising, rebounding, doing your calf muscle workouts. Even when you're shopping in the grocery store, my kids always look at me like, Mom, what are you doing? Now they don't ask because they know what I'm doing, but I'll just be standing there exercising my calf muscles. So, doing some lunges, doing some squats. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. I don't embarrass them that much. Although some of them would do it right next to me with me. So, they're cool like that. Okay. And then you can do that. You can do it even before bed if you want. You might just wake up and think, ooh, my feet are warm, and you can take them off. So those are some things you can do to help with neuropathy of the feet. Never put someone's anybody who has neuropathy, never put their feet in cold or hot water, because they may not be able to feel out the temperature that well, okay? Okay, Kathy was saying that the skin is, the areas on his nose. Yeah, well, you can look into using black salve, or you can use straight oregano essential oil. I've heard that really helps as well. Also, I would consider using, this is just my own idea, and I told a lady this, and she said it worked very well. And this was just mixing baking soda and coconut oil, because, cancer doesn't like an alkaline environment, and it also doesn't like, anything antimicrobial, antibacterial. So I thought, well, what if you mixed and made your own paste of baking soda and coconut oil, and then just applied that to an ailment or an area. So you could try doing that as well if you don't want to do anything as aggressive as black salve. Eve said, are there homemade recipes for binders made with clove and oregano? Well, binders are typically not with the herb. So binders are usually just, the charcoals, the bentonite clays, the diatomaceous earth, those kinds of things. And then the parasite cleanse is the herbs. So yeah, I'm sure you can find or make your own kind of blend and capsule of your blend for your parasite cleanse. Kaz says, do you post to the UK? We do, but it's expensive. So I'm so sorry. I wish I could send it all to you for free, but the postal service charges an arm and a leg for our stuff to get to you. Perhaps one day we can have a store there or something exciting. We'll see what God opens up. But, for now we do ship, but it is expensive. I'm so sorry. Okay. Lena says, I have a wonderful testimony. Okay, let's read this. I like testimonies. On castor oil, I went to my doctor in Shawnee and I learned I had a small cyst on my eyelid that covers my eyeball. Doctor said it was deep, but didn't see it causing problems unless it was bothering me. I could leave it alone or to remove it. It would require cutting it out. Oof. He said it likely wouldn't grow much bigger. It was the size of a small pimple. Okay. I said, I will try castor oil. He said, sure, you could try it. Guess what? I applied the oil each night and was so excited for just 2 weeks after it was completely gone. I praise God and praise to share. So I called the doctor's office back, told them of my testimony and asked them to please let the doctor know and wanted to share it. That is great. Hear that, everybody? Castor oil to the rescue for any kind of lumps, bumps, bone spurs, anything, abnormal skin tissues. You can apply castor oil onto that. It helps to dissolve and to nullify. How much golden seal would you snort? We talked about this last week and your snuff dip. And usually it's like only a very small amount. I don't even know, like maybe smaller than my pinky nail. So maybe half of my pinky nail, is about what you would do. Maybe that's 1/16 of a teaspoon, very small amount you sniff one side and then you sniff the other side. You could also just take some. And I believe you don't need a lot for that either. Probably maybe what would be in a capsule, maybe about 1/8 of a teaspoon to 1/4 of a teaspoon you could actually take in a tea or something. That's what I would do. Diverticulitis. So diverticulitis is not tricky. It's definitely healable when you give the body all the right conditions and take out all the things that the body can't handle. It's important to repair the gut. It's important to look into your history. Do you have a history of lots of antibiotics? Do you have a history of alcohol and refined sugar and poor diet and things like that that actually destroy the gut lining over time? And even like what are you eating? How's your hydrochloric acid levels? So a quick skimming the top of how someone could go about feeling better from this and encouraging the body to heal is to completely revamp your diet. Make sure you're not eating any refined sugar. Make sure you're not eating any hybridized wheat. Hybridized wheat is a terrible one for the gut, especially for someone who has diverticulitis and issues in the gut. Alcohol, watch out for alcohol, watch out for caffeine, watch out for food dye, fast foods, chemical foods, genetically modified food, frankenfood, anything that is not food, right? If God didn't make it, don't take it. That is your motto when you have any illness in your body. You got to figure out, okay, what is the closest to the way God made this? We need to stick to the way God made food and not the way man manipulated food. And so that's one thing you need to start with. If you're taking medications, if you're like a person who just pops Tylenol and pops over-the-counter Benadryl and da-da-da-da, all that has to stop. You have to really approach it in an organic way. And you guys, this was new to me too. When I first started doing this, I worked I was an office manager in a medical facility, and I got free drugs all the time. And by drugs, I mean, the prescriptions, the samples and things. So I had everything you could imagine in my bathroom closet. People come over, I'm like, what you got? You got a cold? I'll hook you up. I'm completely opposite from today. You won't find any of that in my house. But when I slowly started to wean myself out of that mindset of I have a cough. Oh, I need this medication, or I need this sample, or I need whatever it was. This medicine. It was kind of weird to conquer a cold without having something. it was a little different to start thinking, oh wait, my body is capable of handling this on its own. I don't need something for a sore throat when I know my body can handle it with maybe vitamin C or things like that. So I know it can be kind of tricky as you're changing things over. I acknowledge that, but try to cut all of it out. Try to just go all natural, all herbs, all homeopathics and herbs and natural remedies. These are great alternatives to medications because those things just eat away at your gut lining. They cause inflammation of the gut. They cause all kinds of havoc, malabsorption, microbiome imbalances. It's bad. So what you want to do is cut all that out, and then you want to start eating really good foods. Eat foods that you know agree with you, and you'll know that because your body will tell you. Eat foods that are healthy. Maybe start juicing. Maybe start drinking smoothies. Make sure you're getting fat, fiber, protein every time you eat. Don't drink with your meals. Don't snack all day long. Make sure you just eat a big breakfast, go 4 to 6 hours, and then eat a big early supper, and then be done for the day. Give your stomach a rest. Your stomach wants to rest when you're sleeping. You can try, if you need to have something before bed, you could have something really light, like some steamed vegetables, or sometimes people who have diverticulitis don't do well on raw vegetables, or sometimes they do and they don't do good on raw, cooked vegetables. So you just have to see what your body agrees with and what it can handle. Repairing the gut with slippery elm. You can take slippery elm before each meal. You can also use gut repair tea, and you can take that daily. You could try colon tea if you feel like you need help in the bathroom department. Usually people don't. Usually they need slippery elm just to help balance the consistency of the stool, whether it's too runny or too hard. That's typically what I've seen with that. Drinking aloe, 2 ounces of aloe in the morning, 2 ounces of aloe at night. That's helpful. Taking a probiotic 45 minutes before breakfast. That's very helpful too. If you have a powder, you can almost put it in the aloe water and drink it together and wait before you eat 45 minutes. That helps to coat, soothe, and heal the stomach lining. The slippery elm too. You could always take everything together if you want. Slippery elm, aloe, and probiotic down the hatch. 45 minutes later, eat. So these are some little things you can do to help you. There's a gut repair tea. There's all kinds of little teas you can look into, but start small. Start with what you can handle. You can handle drinking more water, taking out all the coffees and the sodas. Start there, and then add to it daily. So that's a little bit. That's just kind of skimming the surface for you. Okay, Mackenzie said, good morning from Nebraska. 69-year-old woman needs to know which yam is best for building bones. Well, what's great is they all build the bones the same. So you can use any one that we have. You can use the Chase Berry Free for mild. You can use the regular for regular. You can use the plus if you have hot flashes. You can use extreme if you need extreme balancing. There's a men's extreme, and then we have an oil for each one of them. So it just depends on what your preference is, but great news is they all help heal the bones and encourage bone building the same. So all of that is going to be the same in any of them. So you just need to compare what other symptoms you're having to see which yam cream is ideal for you. Angela Jane. Hi, Jacqueline. What essential oils would you recommend for internal use? I use doTERRA. I know a lot of people who use doTERRA. They really like it. It's expensive. I have recently found a company I like called Vivadoria, Vivadoria, and they have actually food grade and digestible essential oils for way more affordable cost. But that's up to you. Some people are very serious when it comes to their essential oils and must have only doTERRA. Some people must only have Young Living. Some people, so it just depends on you. I personally use Vivadoria when I have to. I don't actually intake any essential oils internally unless it's like making my own toothpaste, or I'll put it topically a lot on my skin. I'll put it in diffusers. And I like to put food grade in my diffusers too, because we're breathing it in. But I don't typically take it. If I had a disease or something going on, I would definitely consult someone who's a professional in the essential oil area, and get their professional view on how much to take of what and when and all the things and what kind. I'm sure they probably have even better essential oils than doTERRA and Young Living, which I don't know, but I would ask them. Bree said, my mom is 87. I'm always pushing her to drink water. My dad too. It's hard. It is hard to encourage older people to drink water. And in fact, as you age, your body stops craving water. I think the body just says, forget it. They're not going to drink water. We've been asking for 87 years. We've been asking for 90 years. It's not coming, guys. Might as well just give up. But, and so as you're young, drink your water. So it's a habit as you get older. And for our elderly, just love them up. Say, hey, mom, take a sip for me. I love you. Take a sip of water for me. But they need it. They need it. They need it. There's a great book called You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. Oh my goodness. There's I think it's 42 reasons why to drink water. Number one is without water, nothing lives. So we got to be drinking our water. Okay. Is it safe to take a bath using food grade hydrogen peroxide? I've never taken a bath with food grade hydrogen peroxide. I'll have to look into it. I don't know. Why would you take a bath with food grade hydrogen peroxide? Yeah. I guess I need to look into it. I guess I'd find out why and what it's doing. And I know it's great for, wound care and things. I know you can take, hydrogen to drink. So maybe oxygenation, maybe that's why you're doing it. Or just, I don't know. Okay. That's intriguing. Tell me more. Monica, hi, I'm from Bangladesh. Hi. I love Dr. Barbara so much. I want to ask before 3-section, after now almost 10 years to have normal delivery possible. Please answer. I can answer for me. I'm Jacqueline. I've actually had 3 C-sections, and, I've heard many, many women delivering after a 3 C-sections, 4 C-sections, 5 C-sections, 6 C-sections. As long as the baby's healthy, I would definitely be using castor oil compresses. Are you pregnant now? But if you aren't, I would definitely be using castor oil compresses to help break up that scar tissue and help to kind of strengthen that area. Maybe use some comfrey salve to help repair the skin before you have another baby. But oh my goodness, yeah, I've heard many women having babies after C-sections. So join a group, look into it. I'm sure there's a group somewhere on Facebook that is, I think it's called VBAC after C-section. This was many years ago when I was thinking about having another kid. My husband was not on board. So I only got 4. Only, right? I'm so blessed. I have plenty, but, okay. So I'm going to take one last question, and I'm going to use the one that just came in last. Okay. And it's back about the hydrogen peroxide. Vicky said hydrogen peroxide in water for anti-cancer. Okay. That's interesting. Typically it has to touch the cancer, kind of like baking soda. The alkalinity has to touch the cancer. Maybe if there's skin cancer, I can see that working. Same thing with baking soda on the skin. You would have to wrap it. I would almost consider you'd have to probably make a wrap like you do the baking soda wraps with the hydrogen peroxide, but it probably doesn't hurt to do that. See how you feel. I know people drink hydrogen peroxide water or hydrogen water all the time to add to it. So, okay, everybody. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to read everybody's messages. I wish I had more time, but I think I'm just going to write a book. How about that? Thank you, Angela, for the stars. Angela Jane, you guys are wonderful. Thanks for being here. And let's see, do I have any announcements? Oh, we made hot apple cider. So there's a hot apple cider. If you're in Shawnee, you want to come by and grab a cup of cider. Driver is making, what did he call them? Caramel apple cookies, and actually has little bite-sized pieces of baked apple, organic, in his gluten-free cookie with a homemade caramel sauce. That is all gluten-free and vegan. So we have those cookies today. What else is happening? I'm organizing my herbs because I want to bring a lot more herbs to our store, our new store that's coming. We have another store that's opening soon. So I want to work on getting that going. Yeah, just little things like that. Make some phone calls, consultations later, all the fun stuff. So you guys have a great day. I will see you on Friday. I'll be back on Friday. I'll be posting tomorrow what you would like to talk about on Friday. If you have questions that I didn't get to, please go look for that post and write it there. If you need a personal consultation, I understand sometimes you don't want to ask questions privately. Maybe you want me to dig into your history. Maybe you just want to chat for an hour. I get it. You can schedule that on okbehealthy.com. There is a link for consultations in every category. So just pick a category and scroll through and you'll see consultations. I do 1 hour consultation. So if you're interested in that, I'm happy to book with you. What else? Oh, and you can join our subscriber page. We're getting ready to start our book club in November, and we are reading Why We Sleep together. So it's not too late. You can grab your book and you can get it on over there and you can start reading with us. We are going to start up soon because November is almost here. Look for our new Rhodiola rosea tincture that I'm getting ready to post. That helps boost mood, and it's great if someone is they're depressed, they need a little boost. It's great to help with that rather than antidepressants. It's kind of like ashwagandha, but it's called Rhodiola rosea. Some lady thought I was saying rodeo. I'll take some of that rodeo. So I love that too. If you want to call it rodeo, call it rodeo. But yeah, what else? Yeah, lots of fun stuff. I got to help Jax make some honey onion cough syrup. We're out of that. And yeah, we got a bunch of fun things to do. So I'd just rather sit here and I guess gab with you all day, but I'm sure you got other things to do too. So have a great day. I'll see you Friday. Feel free to join our subscriber page where we can chat every day on little things. I just posted my pumpkin spice chocolate chip cookie recipe that I make the boys once a year. So that's on the subscriber page. If you are into cookies, you might like that. So, okay guys, I will talk to you later. Have a great day. I'll see you Friday. Bye-bye. Okay, be healthy.